Hello friends, it's day 13 of documenting my creative consistency in the midst of chaos. We are at a new location today. As announced, I moved once again. It's a kind of a bland background, but yeah, I'm guessing it doesn't matter much. You're not here for the visuals, but at least we still have the natural light like on the previous location. So I'm hoping it's not a painfully bad sight to see me. If you're watching, maybe some of you are listening, like I would, in all honesty, if I was you, and if I was to any extent interested in my ramblings, I would probably be listening rather than watching. Yeah, we are still showing up. It's kind of interesting that my first day of the 12-week year that I announced in the previous video, my first day of this 12-week year of this sort of challenge to see how this type of goal setting works. My first day was while moving, so I easily lost a couple of hours in 40, 60 minutes, packing, preparing to leave the place. Then after checking out, trying to find where can I stay for a couple of hours until the check-in time. And in a big city, struggling to find the taxi for two enormous bags. I think I have total of around 60 kg of luggage, and I'm not even joking. So, yeah, it was kind of a hassle. Is that the proper word? I don't know. But it wasn't the most convenient thing to be moving once again. But here we are now settled for another week, and yeah, we still showed up. It doesn't feel good to lose a couple of hours in moving, and in losing hours in transition where you don't really do much. Okay, I'm sitting here for 40 minutes or 1 hour in this cafe, then I need to move, then take luggage, so on and so forth. But either way, all good. Still, we showed up. So not the most intense starting day to this 12-week year. But I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to think about it too much. As in, okay, day 1 of the 12-week year, day 13 of documenting my creative consistency. I would end up counting way too many things. There's one interesting thing that I could share. My output has been good. I'm satisfied with how much I'm writing, how much I'm studying, brainstorming. I really have been showing up. I'm happy with it. But one thing that I'm struggling a bit, is reading, believe it or not. Now, I said I'm studying a lot. Yeah, because that's what I do. I take that very seriously. So of course I study. Meaning I study the things, the topics, the texts that I use for my writing, that I use for the educational resources that I'm creating, for the workshops that I will be doing, so on and so forth. So on one hand, reading as a, I don't know if I would say now reading or writing. My brain maybe isn't working the best. Reading, I was talking about reading. So reading as an activity is something that I do every single day, and I do it a lot, and it's just a way of being for me. Of course, I'm reading, but to have a slightly bigger block of time to read for pleasure, that's something that I've been struggling with. And for example, I have this book, Focusing, by Eugene Gendlin, I'm not sure. Focusing, how to gain direct access to your body's knowledge. And it's not focus. It's written in the 50s or 60s of the last century. So it's not focusing in the modern sense. It's not about our attention spans. It's not about the digital age. It's a psychotherapist that worked with, he comes from the tradition of humanistic existential psychotherapists, something that some of you know that it's a tradition that I'm interested in. And he was doing a study with Carl Rogers, actually the founder of humanistic psychology. He was doing a study with him to see who are the people who respond to therapy the best, who are the people who make the best positive change in their lives, who are the people who achieve the greatest success, to say that way, in therapy and counseling. And they noticed something, they noticed a pattern in their, so this is back in the 60s, I believe, in the 60s, and we don't hear about this much. They noticed that there is certain pattern of people pausing before speaking, before asking questions, pausing, and to put it in simple terms, asking themselves questions, asking questions to the therapist, answering questions with more embodiment. If I try to explain it now, I would probably butcher it because I'm just starting the book. But it seems like something interesting. And this is going to end up being another book that I will use definitely as or probably as a resource for my work, for my creation. So it's kind of, I don't know, funny that I'm mentioning this book as something that I'm trying to read for pleasure, but that's the reality. What I'm reading for pleasure is the same, or usually the same. There is a big overlap between what I'm reading for pleasure and what I'm reading for work. So yeah, maybe the example isn't the best. Maybe it would be better to say, there is this fiction book that I'm struggling to read, but at this moment this is what I want to read, and I want to read it first for pleasure, then for pleasure, for pleasure and for personal curiosity, and then use it for work. But that's, as I was saying, on my current consistency journey, that's one thing that I'm struggling with, is taking more time for myself, for my reading, for reading that doesn't have to pay off in the sense of being a good quality resource for my work. When I say I'm struggling, I'm struggling with the amount of time that I'm giving myself, because I'm not sure if there was a single day in the last 6 years that I haven't read anything. But then we go back to the main principle of consistency. Consistency is you showing up no matter what. And how do you show up no matter what? Well, you show up to the extent that you can. So when I say I think it has been 6 years that I've read something every single day, that means that on some or on a lot of those days in the last 6 years, I read one page. Or there was a period of time where I was struggling internally, I was struggling mentally, spiritually, and couldn't find the strength in me to do anything. Strength, focus, energy. And how I would keep reading is I made an agreement with myself that even one paragraph of reading counts as reading. So that's how I continued my streak. So when it comes to consistency reading, I do have the consistency, and that's something that's not even brought into question. It's about taking out more time to enjoy reading. And as I'm saying this, I realize I enjoy it every day because I love what I do, but there has to be some slightly more significant, slightly bigger block of time where I enjoy reading in a different way. I enjoy reading for my own sake. yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I will try to include it in my daily routine. Although, in all honesty, as I'm sharing all of this, I'm realizing that the line between what I'm reading for my own sake and what I'm reading for the sake of creating something and helping others, trying to help others, is such a blurry line that I'm not even sure it exists. So definitely not something to complain about. Finding it difficult to make a distinction between pleasure and work and my own passion and the duty and responsibility. And interesting. As I'm sharing all of this with you, I'm realizing how maybe besides fiction reading, there will not be any reading that I can do purely for my own sake. And that's, yeah, if that ends up being the case, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. But this is the book. This is the book. Maybe I will be giving you soon some more information on it. Focusing once again by Eugene Gendlin or Gendlin. I think native speakers will know better. That's it, friends. So yeah, new environment. Unfortunately, I cannot show you around because that wouldn't be a very, very smart decision on my part. I don't want to be sharing my location. But yeah, maybe at some point when there is less reasons to worry. For now, we keep showing up. Day 13, things are going well. Thank you, friends. This one was a bit random, but at the end of the day, this is pretty much a video diary. So you will see a new educational video in this week. This week for sure, you will see new educational video, or let's say video version of the essay, of the Jungian heroic act of getting out of bed. That essay, you will see the video version of it in the next couple of days. Thank you. As always, stay strong, love life, and never feel sorry for yourself.